I feel like you can see my acne scarring a little bit more now. Look how feathery they look. So beautiful, and it's really, really pigmented. Look how pretty this one is. A lot of glitter fallout. I like how it's kind of like messy, a little bit undone. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new then welcome. My name's Christina, and on my channel we talk all things beauty from my own experiences, and today we are going to be playing with a bunch of new makeup. I'm trying to pull makeup that is actually new, like recently released, but also I have some things that I personally have not tried since they've released, so I'm also going to be throwing a couple of those things in. There are a bunch of things that I bought during the Sephora sales event that was also new to me, as well as like actually new, you know. I did do some b-roll showing you guys me applying them and everything, so I'm going to be trying to avoid redoing those products. So I'm going to be trying stuff that I haven't tried on camera yet. Anyways, I'm sure you guys understand that, but if you're interested in seeing all of this and like my thoughts on them as we go along, then let's get started. So starting off with the brows, I finally got my hands on this Rare Beauty brow gel, and this thing is actually so good. I've been testing it for about a week now, and I'm really impressed by this. You can kind of see whenever you open it, like look at the very tip of the spoolie, you will see that this gel holds its shape. It's not super liquidy. It's almost waxy in a way, but it's still a liquid wax, if that makes sense. So as you can see right there on the tip of that spoolie, there's product there and it's not moving, it's keeping its shape, and for me that pretty much means that this thing is very thick. Oh, let me put my headband on. I actually got this headband from Versed and I really like it. Someone called it a croissant headband, and I thought that was the cutest thing I've ever heard. Anyways, you guys know brow gels in general just do not hold the same way they hold for other people on me. So I was kind of expecting this not to work well, or not work well, but I did expect it to kind of fall throughout the day. But within the week that I've been trying it out, wherever I place my brow hairs after I put the product through it and it dries that way, it will actually stay like that all day. And the only thing that I was using all last year to hold my brows in place was soap, and also the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. That one is really good, but the way that I would compare this to that one, if you guys have tried it, this is definitely more like a liquid wax, and the brow setter is more like a runny gel, you know? And when that one dries, it can get really crumbly and flaky. And I will say, this one also has that tendency if you use too much, but I find that it's a lot less finicky, at least for me to use, and I am not good at doing my brows. At least I don't think so, and I'm not a huge fan of my personal brows, but I'm also too scared to do anything about them. Look how feathery they look. They look much more thick, and they're all spread out. You can also do a laminated look with this, but I've kind of decided that I just don't look good with laminated brows. It's not my calling. Other people look incredible with it, but I just think with my features and how dark my brow hairs are, it kind of looks crazy. Like I kind of look like I have caterpillars on my face. I forgot to talk about these lip balms. I've been testing out both of these lip balms, the E.L.F Henriksen Pout Preserve Peptide Lip Treatment, as well as the Inkey Tripeptide Plumping Lip Balm. This is what I have on my lips right now. I have been making it a habit to use this 3 times a day because that's what the directions tell you to do. I do it in the morning after my skincare, at night after my skincare, as well as sometime in the middle of the afternoon. This got a lot of hype because it's supposed to give you noticeably plumper lips within 2 weeks, but the full time frame is supposed to be 4 weeks, I believe, and I'm testing that out. I am 1 week in of wearing it 3 times a day, and I'm going to keep you guys updated on if it actually makes a difference for me. The thing about this though is it's a very runny consistency, and I like my lip balms to be rather thick. I like something that feels really creamy and balmy, but this one definitely feels like melted down. I don't even want to say Vaseline because Vaseline feels even thicker than this, you know, but it feels very thin. It's not my preferred feeling of an actual lip balm, but I will say that it does keep my lips moisturized. I don't know. I like something a little bit thicker, which brings us to this one, the E.L.F Henriksen one. This consistency is so beautiful. It's nice and thick, it's balmy, it smells like a creamsicle, which I love. This one is actually very, very pleasant to apply and like have on your lips. Not that the other one isn't, but this one just like makes me happy, you know? I love the packaging on it. It feels nice and thick. This one feels similar to the Summer Fridays one, except this one may have a little bit more of a slip to it. And because it has those peptides in it as well, it's also supposed to give you a little bit of a plumping effect. And it's advertised to fill in the lip lines within your lips, which is a huge thing for me. I wish that my lips were just completely smooth, but that is not the case. And I know that they just came out with a tinted version for the holidays, and I'm considering getting it, but at the same time, do I need another lip balm? Probably not. But is it limited edition, and am I very tempted? Yes, absolutely. Next, I want to talk about the Kosas Nano Brow Pop Nano. So I hauled this in my Sephora sales event video, and this is the tiniest, most micro brow pencil I have ever seen, and it is incredible. It is a good, like, I would say medium texture to where you can still draw onto the brows and make brow-like strokes, but it's not too creamy where it's just depositing too much pigment and it looks muddy. I think it's a really perfect in-between texture. This is the most brow-like looking strokes that I've ever been able to achieve with a brow pencil. And again, I do not think that I'm great at doing my brows, so this kind of streamlines the process. After I shape my brows with the brow gel, I go in and I just fill in the sparse areas, and it's so easy to find because again, that brow gel kind of sets the hairs right where they need to be. And then because this is so nano, it goes right into those gaps. There you go. Those are the brows. I feel like they look very naturally fluffy the way that I've been doing them lately, and the products that I've been using. I've been really happy with them. Now, this is not a new product to me. However, it is fairly new. It is the Ciele Tint and Protect tinted serum, and I have the shade number 8 medium honey. I've talked about this in short videos, and I think I've mentioned it in some of my YouTube videos as well. This is an incredible tinted sunscreen. It's an SPF of 50 and it utilizes mineral sunscreen, so it's a lot less irritating to sensitive skin or acne prone skin like I have, and I've been really loving this texture. It's very, very thin and runny. It gives you that coverage, but you also get that amazing SPF that's included in it. I will say that I don't think I have a perfect match. This one actually, number 8 medium honey, is quite dark compared to my skin tone. Even like my body, it's still a little bit dark. When I purchased it, I was a little bit more tan, but as we go into the colder months, I do kind of lose a little bit of my tan, but I'm still able to make it work with a lighter concealer. I did swatch this shade underneath this one, but that one was way too light, so I just opted to go a little bit more tan. I like to just do a couple dots of this like all over the face, and then I'll spread it out evenly with my fingers before I go in with my brush to really blend everything in. And the reason I'm using this today is because I don't have any new foundations to show you guys. This is probably the newest one that I picked up. I also recently tried out their blush, which again is newer, but I'm not doing it in this video because I did demo it in my sales haul, my Sephora haul. But just know both of the products are incredible. They're so good. Okay, I'm back. I finished my concealer and I also set down my T-zone with my Oma powder. This is the Trip and Smooth powder and translucent. It is amazing. It is such a great setting powder, and I decided to go in with that before going in with the next product, which is the Hourglass Ambient Unlocked Snake palette. I do still have the film on it. Shall we take it off here? Let's do it together. Oh, so nice. It is beautiful. Just super rich tones here. And it is definitely more tan than the Elephant palette, which is the one that I picked up last year. But I went with this one versus the Leopard one. I was between the two, but I noticed that the Leopard and the Elephant palette from last year had a lot of repeats. So I thought that maybe I would go ahead and pick this one up. It is a little bit deeper, but I thought it would be nice, especially as the year goes on. And you know, I do get a little bit more tan. So I'll be able to choose between the Elephant palette and the Snake palette. So like I said, I did set down my under eye and my T-zone here with an actual setting powder, and now we're going to go in with the finishing powder, which is going to be this shade right here in Radiant Light. I feel like I have this like in a mini somewhere. This is just a Kaleidos blush brush actually, but this seems like a really good brush to use for this, so I'm just gonna go and dip in here. I love Hourglass powders because they're so fine, and honestly the finish of them is really gorgeous. So we're gonna go in and just finish off the face really. And anywhere that I did not set, I'm also gonna set, really just setting all over. The squares in here are quite small, so you have to be very precise with where you put your brush, you know? Shouldn't be a huge issue. I mean, you do get the best value out of this palette versus any other Hourglass powder, you know? I actually bought this from Ulta because I had a gift card and they were doing a 15% off, so I got 15% off as well as using my gift card. So I think I paid like $30 for this, which was so nice. But $90 for this palette, it's very pricey, but I will tell you that I am still using my Elephant palette. I use it quite frequently, so I'm definitely getting my money's worth. Really beautiful, not dark at all. I think that one worked really nicely for me. And I was actually debating on if I wanted to use that palette or if I wanted to use the Rare Beauty liquid blushes, but I think I'm just going to use this palette because I think 5 of the shades, like all of the blush shades in here, are brand new and they're exclusive to this palette, whereas we have 2 new products here. So we have a new blush shade and a new highlight shade. We have the shade Wisdom here, and I think Transcend is the new highlight shade, but we all know and love the Rare Beauty liquid blush formulation. So I think I'm just gonna go in with this today just to see, you know, like if this is worth it or not. Like I'll be able to tell you guys my full thoughts on it once I use more of the palette. All right, so I'm gonna go in with this bronzer shade right here. It is called Solar Bronze. It is quite dark, I will say. I think I can still make it work. Ooh, that comes off onto the brush very easily. Just gonna tap off the excess here because I want to go in with light layers, and we're gonna start with a tapping motion and then kind of swirl it in. Ooh, that is pigmented. Okay, gotta be careful, gotta be careful. Let me spread some onto the forehead too. Wow, that is so pigmented. Hopefully that blends out. Okay, that actually blended out. I'm not sure if it took off the concealer right here. I feel like you can see my acne scarring a little bit more now underneath that bronzer. It kind of is the nature if you put bronzer right on top of acne scarring, but I did make it a point to set it with powder, hoping that it wouldn't come off, but it looks like it might have, which is unfortunate, but I can live with it. Yeah, this has got a ton of pigment to it, at least the bronzer does, so hopefully the blushes are similar in formulation. Okay, here's what that looks like. Again, it looks really nice, very nice and warm. I don't think that it pulls too red. It's slightly red, but not too red. I think it's actually gonna blend in with the blush really nicely. I do, again, feel like my acne scarring did kind of come out there, but other than that, it looks pretty good. So let's see what blush we want to go in with. Let me swatch all 3. Oh, okay, so I think this corner one is actually a highlight, not a blush. Whoa. Oh, that is so pigmented. Wow, these are incredibly pigmented. Wait, which one was that? I want the middle one, but I don't remember which one that was in the palette. I think it was the marbled one. Let's see. Yeah, it's the marbled one. So that blush is called Coral Haze, and we're gonna go in with that one. Oh yeah, she's pigmented. And we're gonna go right on top of the cheekbone and kind of bring it up to the temple. This palette is going to be absolutely gorgeous on anyone that has tan or deeper skin tones, I think. It's just gonna give you such a beautiful flush. For me, I think it is slightly darker than what I'm wanting right now. Like recently, I've been into really dusty roses and mauves and stuff like that, opposed to peachy coral shades. But in the summertime, I love those colors. Still really, really gorgeous though. And I'm going in with that finishing powder brush and just blending everything together. Okay, it's really pretty. I like it, but I think that I needed a stronger base, like a stronger foundation and concealer base in order to like keep it in place. It definitely moved everything a little bit, like coverage wise. Aside from that, it's a beautiful palette. Again, the pigmentation is there. I love that you get the variety that is in here. I don't feel like it's a flat palette. I definitely think there's a lot of depth in here. Should we use the highlight? Let's use it. I'm just going to use this same brush, the finishing powder one, and I'm just going to do like that, just a tiny little tap, and go right on top of that blush. Wow, that gave so much shimmer with just one little tap. Yeah, these are very pigmented. The finish is really beautiful on them. They're everything that Hourglass like powders give you, you know, that soft focus finish. Like I said, for me, I think right now for what my preferences are, it is a little bit darker, but come springtime, I think I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this palette. But if you are any darker than me, I think that this is going to look absolutely gorgeous on you. So I actually have a couple of eyeshadow products here, and I don't know what I want to use. So I did pick up the Urban Decay Moondust palette, and there are two palettes currently, and this one is the Space Rider palette. So this has the original Space Cowboy, and it also has 3 new shades. That's so beautiful. So here's Space Cowboy, and then we have Star Cowgirl, Wild Dipper Rides Again, and Cosmic Space Dust. I love the way that they give you like that wet eye effect. And if you guys know, Space Cowboy for me doesn't look the most natural wet look because I am a little bit more tan. So for anyone lighter, this does definitely give you that wet eye effect, you know? But for me, it just looks like a glittery eyeshadow. So I thought that this would be fun to play around with, and this shade I'm very intrigued by. We may have to dip into that one today. I also bought a couple of Rabanne products. I got 2 of the Colorshots, the Cream to Paint in the shade 1969, which is just going to be a silver, which I don't usually go for silvers, but I saw someone use this in a video and she sheared it out and it looked like a pearly, just like wet eyelid effect, and I thought it was gorgeous. And I also got the shade Meteor Light. This one's gonna be more like your light bronze shade. These are my like one and done type of eyeshadows. And I got one of the duos, one of the mini palettes in the shade Date Night. I was looking at the All Lights on Me one, which has that clear gloss type of thing, you know. I tried it out and I'm not a fan of the way that those feel on the lids, the gloss. I don't think that they have great staying power and it just feels a little sticky. I do love the effect though, so if you're doing it just for like photos or videos or something, it's beautiful. I did try this out the other day. I just swiped a little bit on my eyelids. This shade in particular is really gorgeous for like an everyday smoky eye without looking too smoky. It's almost like a daytime smoky eye, you know, something that's not going to look super overpowering on the eyes, but it still gives you a lot of like depth and dimension and like a little bit of that smokiness. So here is what those look like. I mean, they're so pretty. They're not metallic to me. They're kind of like a sheen almost. I still have the Hourglass powders on the back of my hand. Like, look, that's so beautiful, and it's really pigmented. I feel like I haven't seen a lot of people talk about the Rabanne products just yet. Maybe people will start talking about them, but so far I have been really impressed by these. You see what I mean? This one seems like kind of like a one and done eyeshadow where it gives you that depth and dimension, but it still kind of looks like something you can wear on an everyday basis. And let's go ahead and swatch these Colorshots as well. And I noticed with these when I was playing with them in store, you need the tiniest little dot for a lot of pigmentation. There's 1969, and I did a little bit and I love that effect. Actually, I feel like it almost makes it wearable, which is very interesting because it's a silver and I don't wear silvers, but I feel like I could wear that one. And here is Meteor Light. You guys know I had to go with like a bronzy shade here to see if I can use it as a one and done eyeshadow. Really beautiful. You can see that this one definitely has more bronze, whereas this is kind of more brown, I guess. I want to use them, but at the same time, I feel like more people are interested in seeing this palette, so maybe we'll do that today. All right, let's go ahead and swatch all the shades in this one, shall we? I just love the sheen to these. I cannot wait to put these on my face. Okay, that is what those shades look like. I mean, They're gorgeous, they're glittery, they're pigmented, they're slightly sheeny and metallic, you know? And people, there's been a big debate on if this Space Cowboy is the same as like the single shadow. I actually have the single right here, so let's go ahead and swatch it right next to it. So here is the original. It looks so gorgeous on the fingers, but honestly on me, I wish it looked more like it did on my finger. Okay. So there are the two Space Cowboys. Here is the single, and then here's the one from the palette. I will move my hand back and forth so you guys can kind of see that shift. But what do you think? Do you think that they're the same shade? I kind of feel like the one that is in the single looks a little bit deeper and darker, but by literally a hair. Whereas this one seems like it has a little bit more glitter in it, which is making it look a little bit lighter. You guys tell me, what do you think? And I think that I definitely want to go in with this darker shade right here. This is also new, but I demoed this again in my Sephora haul video, the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions 3 palette. I am obsessed with this. It is gorgeous, buttery, creamy, everything that I wanted it to be. It delivered for sure. I think I'm gonna go in with this shade right here and just all over the crease, kind of messily, you know, just put something in there to make sure that I still have a little bit of depth on the eye, and I'm just going to run that all into the crease just to get something in there to create a little bit of depth on the eyes, because as you guys know, I do have a flatter profile. So for me, anything that adds a little bit more dimension, I really like. Perfect. So now I'm just going to go in with my finger. I think that these always apply the best with your finger. So I'm just going to take my pinky, run it in there. Oh, I'm so excited for this. Okay. And we are just going to swipe it on, I guess. So it's not as intense as I thought it was going to be, which I'm not completely mad at. I think that for someone like me who likes a little bit more of a toned down look, it's perfect. But if you're looking for something that is like crazy pigment metallic, I don't know if you would like that. But then again, if you have any experience with the Moondust shadows, you would kind of know they are more glitter than pigment, I guess. I want to go in with a little bit of Star Cowgirl, and I'm going to use this brush because I want it to be sheared out. There's a lot of fallout in this palette, so be careful when you're using it. Just know you're gonna get a lot of glitter fallout for sure. So I would suggest tapping it on. I got a little bit of fallout like on my nose, but not too bad. Definitely not too intense, you know? I think that this is fairly toned down, if I do say so myself. I like how it gives like a sheen. I'm gonna clean this up because I don't like how messy that got. So now I'm going to curl my lashes and put mascara on, and then we will move on to lip products. So I went with brown mascara. What do you guys think? Obviously, it's not as noticeable on me since I do have black lashes, but I think it definitely lightened up my lashes a little bit and it gave it a little extra something. I thought it would be really pretty with brown mascara. I don't know. I might change my mind halfway through the day and just like put some black mascara on top, but you guys let me know what you think. So for some lips, I actually wanted to show you guys a couple of products because I'm excited about them. So the Juvia's Place Volumizing Gloss Sticks. I just recently tried these on my Instagram and my TikTok, and oh my goodness, they are so good. I have other shades, but these are the two that I really want to show you guys. And then I also have the E.L.F. Reviver lip oils, Glow Reviver lip oils, and I also tried these in a short form video. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram or TikTok, go follow me on those platforms if you want to see me do like mini reviews, and usually I'm able to get those out a lot faster than I am with YouTube videos. And yeah, it's just I'm able to update you guys more on like new products that I'm testing out. Let me show you guys these two first. So this shade in Soft Light is like my perfect everyday shade. These do not wind down. They're like a serum-y, glossy lip, and they're so creamy. Like, look at that. You need very, very little. They're minty as well, and they give you a little bit of that minty tingly feeling, which is really nice. It is more on the intense side, but it's not uncomfortable. You just really notice it a lot more. The only thing I don't like about this product is that it doesn't taste good. I don't typically have issues with lip product getting into my mouth on accident, but with these, they're so creamy and balmy. They can kind of travel, you know? So I tasted it on accident and I was like, ugh, it doesn't taste good. Not a fan of that. And also, if if you go in with a little too much, it can get a little goopy on the center of the lips, but if you take your finger and you do this thing, it gets rid of all of the surrounding product on that inner area. But I also want to show you this, the shade Cocoa. This one is going to be so popular. I already know it. I was this close to not picking this one up, but I did, and I'm so glad that I did. Put my lips together and blend it. I don't typically do cool tones, but guys, look how pretty this one is. I can't get over how gorgeous this is. Like, it's going to be perfect for winter time, for fall. I can't get over it. It's gorgeous. It's so pretty. It's definitely outside of my comfort zone, but I also feel like it's just warm enough. Like, it's just neutral enough to where I feel a little bit more comfortable wearing it. I don't know yet if it actually is plumping because I've only tried it for like a week or so on and off. So I don't know. All right, and then I want to show you guys these as well. So these are definitely more sheer in finish. I would say you get very, very little pigmentation on these, but it does feel like a nice oil. So that's Honey Talks, Rose Envy, and Jam Session. They look really nice and pigmented here, but honestly, when they hit the lips, there's a very slight difference in shade and tone. I'm just going to line my lips first though. I just lined my lips with Hot Chocolate from Makeup by Mario, and I'm gonna go in with Honey Talks, and you guys will see there's a little bit of pigmentation there, but it's really not intense or anything. But I like this shade because it bridges the gap between the lip liner and my natural lip color. And these feel really nice, but I will say that after they fade, they don't feel like they gave me any long-lasting moisture. They feel really nice and hydrating on the lips when you're wearing them, but it doesn't feel like I would wear this as a lip treatment type of thing. It's definitely more for the aesthetic, at least for the ways that I've been wearing them recently. All right guys, here is the finished look. What do you think? As I'm sitting here looking at it, I feel like the skin is a little bit too glowy for me, so I feel like maybe I overdid it with the finishing powder with putting it all over the face, because I almost feel like right here I'm looking slightly greasy, and I don't like that. I know that it's not oil, so it definitely has to be that powder. So I think I'm actually going to go in with a little bit more of that Oma Beauty setting powder just to make sure that I don't look overly greasy by the time my oils come through. I like the eyes actually. I like how it's kind of like messy, a little bit undone. It has a lot of dimension and depth to it, which I really like. Again, I like the brow products that I used. I'm really enjoying them right now. The lip is nice. I think it complements the eyes really well. I think it's just my complexion that's like really throwing me off. It just doesn't look as finished as I want it to look. Maybe next time I go a little more intense with the eyes, I will use like an actual foundation. I love that tint though for just like an everyday wear. I'm just gonna go in and dust my face now, just right here by the nose, and I think that'll fix a lot of the weirdness that I'm seeing. Let me know which products I used today were the most intriguing for you, most interesting, you know, your favorite one of the bunch. What was mine? I honestly think it might be this Moondust palette as well as these Juvia's Place gloss sticks. I mean, they're all really good. I think all the products that I used today were very nice. I'm excited to continue using everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!